We are here in East Berlin, very artsy, which fits because we're gonna visit Elisa today, so let's check out her studio. It's amazing. I'm so happy that we made it after 3 years of trying to come visit her at her studio. I'm finally here now. So do you want to maybe introduce yourself first, just a little bit?
Yeah, I'm Elisa. I'm an artist from Berlin and I moved in the studio a month ago. So luckily we made it after 3 years. So before you would actually meet me at home, but now we are here in my studio. And I'm a multimedia artist, I would say. Currently I'm more focusing on oil and acrylics. But I actually started as a landscape watercolor painter, so there was a little switch in my vita. Yeah, and now we are here, very outside of Berlin. It took you a while to get here.
Surrounded by nature.
Yeah, it's very close to nature. I grew up here, so it's very familiar to me. And my parents are rangers, like working in the forest, and that's why I really need this surrounding. I need the nature, I need to step out and have the forest next to me. So
is that also something that inspires you a lot?
A lot. My current work is also very close to climate change topics and things like that. So yeah, it has to do with nature all the time.
That's so lovely. Have you always wanted to become an artist, or how did that happen?
Accidentally, I think. It was really accidentally. I never studied art. I studied German literature, so nothing really to do with art. And 6 years ago, I started painting as a to calm after a very digital office job, which was 12 hours a day, and I wanted to do something analog which calms me, and that's why I started painting watercolors an hour in the evening. And after a while I felt like maybe I could share it on Instagram, and that was how I accidentally got an artist, or started my journey as an artist.
But that was just a hobby at first, and
Absolutely.
so you just shared it and people said, wow, this is amazing, and so you continued to do it more? Or?
Yeah, exactly. I focused 2 years only on watercolors, so I started with that, and I felt very comfortable with using watercolors and that techniques. And in 2019 I wrote a book about watercolors and how to paint with watercolors, and that opened me the door to also get to know as an artist, or recognized as an artist, yeah.
And when did you decide to do this as a full-time job?
I cancelled my full-time job in 2015, and I started as using my Instagram account to doing collaborations, but then going the way as an artist. So I would say 2015 I said, like, okay, let's try this creative way. And yeah, full-time artist I would say maybe 2018. Yeah, that was like the thing. I painted like the whole day. I really needed to paint, and then the book came, and I wrote 1 year about my journey into art also, and how to, as an autodidact, playing with materials and using like natural materials. I can show you later what to paint with, and that was, I think 2018 was the key moment where my heart said, like, give it a try.
And now it's already 2021.
Yeah,
wow, it's crazy.
Yeah, time
flies so fast.
Yeah, and now I can't imagine going a day without art.
So you're here every day?
Yeah, I try, and when I have to do back office things or Instagram, you know it well, I really miss my studio and being here and being creative. I really need that.
And do you have a structured day? So do you always get here at the same time and then you leave it in the evening, or is it more like going with the flow, seeing how?
The structure is, there is no structure.
Okay. Okay.
Also the same is with my paintings. No, I try to start before 11, I think, to get in a day, but sometimes I just sit an hour and look at my paintings and think about new ideas. So no, there's not really a structure, but the structure is I just get here and go home when I feel I'm done for the day.
And when you decided, okay, this is my full-time job now, I kind of need to make a living from it as well, did it change the way you created, or did it stay the same?
I would say it stayed the same. I try to not focusing on selling my art. It's more about going on this journey, try to see what is inside me, what I wanted to tell with my art, and also taking the time. I'm working on this special pieces for 6-8 weeks now, and this is something really new, because when I painted watercolors it was like, okay, here's my paper, I start my painting, and after an hour I'm done. And now I get into this process more and more, and yeah, no, I'm really, I don't want to sell my art, and sometimes it really hurts me when something, maybe you can recognize that, when you have to let go of painting. And yeah, now with having some, or working on some exhibitions is also something new after this crazy 1.5 years of no art at all. Yeah, no, it doesn't change, or it changed me because I got more calm, I got more inner peace since I'm painting.
I know this feeling, yeah, it's the best, especially in a time like this where you're so uncertain of what's happening. It's good to have something to calm down and just be at peace with.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting that you're saying, okay, you started with work that takes an hour to make, and now you work on something for 6 to 8 weeks. Do you work on it daily, or do you let it sit and then you come back to it?
It depends. Sometimes I'm really excited for the next day to go again and to work again, but there are also these days where you just sit and think like, oh, I have no idea for this special painting today, and then you have to just let it hang for a day and go to another one, or do some sketches as well. This is something I'm doing very often when I stuck into a creative process. I'm trying to have some sketches to maybe get something new in my mind. So yeah, with my watercolor paintings I was very strict. I wanted to start, I wanted to end, I want to see the result, and that's something, a process I've made the last 2 years, to be calm with myself and with my paintings and trust the process. Yeah.
That's nice. It's good to have. But when do you know when to stop then? Like if you work for so long on something, when do you know, okay, that's done?
I think it's the most difficult moment an artist need to decide, and sometimes I said for myself, I'm done, I won't do another brush stroke, and then 2-3 weeks later I just sit and say like, oh no, this color doesn't fit the other, and I go again and try to, it's very, very difficult. But sometimes, I don't know if you have the same, sometimes you just feel it, you just do the last brush stroke and you feel like, okay, that's it. And then I try to take it off the wall and put it by a side so I won't go there again.
Okay, that's good. And you said that nature and also like political topics such as climate change, I'm seeing here there's something about pride. What other topics that inspire you the most, or what do you want to tell with your art?
The main topic I'm focusing right now, and also my exhibition in September, will be around climate change, and especially the global warming. Because I grew up in the forest, in the middle of the forest. Our house was directly in the forest. So I really see these extreme changes since the last 20 years.
What's the most challenging aspect about your life as an artist right now?
Giving all these ideas in my head structure. I have my sketchbook next to my bed because sometimes I'm just watching a lot of documentary films in the evening or in the night, especially about climate change, and then sometimes there was a sudden idea or something I would like to write down, because in the next day I wake up and it's gone. So I think at the moment organizing all these tiny pieces in my head and not putting everything in one image, that's something very challenging right at the moment. I have so many little pieces I would put into one canvas, and I have to decide, oh no, that's fine for that, and I take another canvas for the next idea. So arranging things in my head and trying to put them on a canvas.
I feel that, yeah. And what's your favorite part about your life as an artist?
I like this inner peace. I like to work free. When I was in my full-time job, you know, you go to the office and you work for somebody on something which sometimes doesn't even make sense. When you do things like you're asking yourself, okay, will this make sense in 20 years? Is this something I would tell my kids what I worked on? And when you work as an artist, you produce physical things which maybe last a lifetime and which you can give to somebody. And this is something I'm really thankful for. And also the opportunity that I can combine this Instagram game with my art and live from that.
Oh yeah, that's also a good point. How do you balance these two worlds, the online world and creating art and being free for that?
I think you know it. You have to be very strict with your creative time and your Instagram time or your digital time. Whenever I try to mix both, like doing stories, doing some videos in my studio and paint at the same time, that doesn't work. Yeah, I have to be very strict with my digital time because whenever I try to combine both, it doesn't work at all. The stories are bad, the painting is bad, so I really need to find a way to have a day where I produce content and focus on that. And whenever I try to paint, my phone is there coupled with my music, but not in reach to post something. Yeah.
Does it stress you sometimes, or is it more like enriching to have both worlds, or do you sometimes feel like, oh, I would rather just do one?
There was a time when it was very when there was a lot of pressure, especially when I released the book, and I really wanted the book to be seen and to be promoted and to be very creative at the same time. And I asked myself what I want to be in maybe 5 years, and then it turns out that I really want to be recognized as an artist more than to be recognized as a well-known person on Instagram. So I think that's my way to go, to be more the artist. And it's absolutely fine when the reach is going down, when followers are leaving. I also have some followers after this long period of painting watercolors who are writing me, oh, it's so sad that you're now focusing on acrylics and we miss your watercolor. And I said, I'm totally sorry, but this is actually now for the moment my journey, and I hope you will follow me, and maybe one time I'm going back to watercolor. But yeah, I think you have to ask yourself, what is it, what I want it to be? And whenever you feel social media is stressing you or limiting your creativity, it's absolutely fine to go a step back.
And you're evolving.
Yeah.
That's so nice. So I would love to have a closer look at some of your paintings.
Let's go!
So this is the piece you were talking about, right? That you're working on right now?
Yeah, I'm working on these two huge ones at the moment. That's what we talk about when I stuck here, and I have no ideas for that one. I'm going to another.
And that's a mix of acrylics and oil as well? Or?
Yeah, these are oil pastels. So I'm working with some, like it's like a pen, which is oil, but the main here's also some black ink into it, but the most things are acrylics.
I love how when I step further away, to me the whole image changes, and when I go close there's so much to discover and so much texture and different lines, color combinations.
Yeah, it's a lot of things to discover. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming also to myself. Then I just take a seat and watch it for an hour. That happens. Just to see if the colors are fitting for me or if there's something missing, and
Do you have an exact idea when you start painting of what you want it to look like, or does it change all the time?
Yeah, it's changing all the time. I mostly start with paper sketches, which are on the ground. This is mostly the first step when I start a new canvas. And then I continue with sketches on cotton with some smaller sizes. And then I try to arrange the main details, like I wanted to put them here or where to put them, and the rest is really free and just emotional, I would say.
That's so nice.
And it changed also when you have these days where you feel very happy or the sun is shining and you take a lot of bright colors or pastel colors, and then the next day it rains and you go like with, okay, let's put green, dark green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much time went into this piece so far?
6 weeks.
That's 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And we have a couple of more to go.
Wow.
It's also continuing with the idea of climate change, and yeah, I'm only using natural materials to paint these trees, and it's just only the trees. The rest is with brushes and normal, as everybody know, but this is something, and I'm not telling it. Maybe sometimes somebody's asking, oh, these trees are not really fine or something, but yeah, they're painted with things that the tree and the nature gives me.
Yeah, I love all the different layers.
Yeah.
Very special.
It's a journey.
Yeah, and you can tell that it is a whole journey and a whole story that is told in one picture, which is amazing. And I feel like if I sat here for like an hour, I would discover so many new things, which I really like.
I love people to spend time watching pictures or staying in front of it and seeing their reaction or what the picture maybe makes. In nature, there is a lot of breakdown, breakthrough. There's no harmony, and this is something, I like to do.
Yeah, so thank you so much for letting us visit you in your beautiful studio and talk about your art and what you do. And we're gonna see each other next week.